My name is Michael Ann Pepper, and it has been my privilege to be the pastor of University Christian Church of Berkeley since September of 2002. About a year ago, we became aware that we could no longer support a ministry here in Berkeley, as well as the historic building that we're living in, right here in the middle of Holy Hill. The church has a vibrant and vital history of ministry, worship, and care for the last 77 years, and yet, since the middle 50s, has been in numerical decline. As we looked at the situation, it became more clear that perhaps the church was at the end of its life cycle. So after much prayer and discussion, worship, thoughtfulness, the church decided to continue in a totally different form, to sell the building, to create a new church in Berkeley, and to use the proceeds from the building to not only support the new Berkeley Disciples Church, but also many other disciple ministries. This has been a really hard decision for a variety of reasons. One is that this building and this situation is a very complicated situation, and it's not going to be easy to sell the building. It's not going to be quick, and I am very proud of my people for taking this job on. It's a heroic effort, and yet if we want to realize the dreams of the congregation, it's something that the congregation will have to do. I am really proud of them. I'm really pleased to be part of this group who is willing to do this kind of work. I hope that when you encounter somebody from University Christian Church, that you will thank them for all the work that they are doing to support the life of our church in the Northern California, Nevada region. Another reason this has been such a hard decision to make is a pattern that I saw happening in the years that I have been here. We do have a very vital community here, and a new person would come in and get engaged by what was going on in worship, or what was going on in Christian education, or what we were doing in ministry, and they would begin to encounter God in whole new ways, and they would find themselves being transformed by their experience with this church, and moving into a totally kind of a life-changing experience for most of them. So what would happen is we'd sit down and talk about what the future of the church should be, and the new people would begin to talk about how much God had changed their lives, how much God had used this church to change their lives, and we'd all get kind of energized and think that perhaps we weren't at the end of our life cycle, and yet I think in the end that the congregation made a good decision and the right decision. And I've been reflecting on that pattern for the last few months, and I think that what we were seeing is more a testimony to the vibrancy of discipleship. That in God's realm, you're never too old to be doing ministry, whether you're a person or an organization. You're never too old to make a difference for the people around you. You're never too old to be a means of grace. And I think that's what we have seen in this community for so many years. So I'm hopeful that you will come and join us on February the 25th, because we're going to be gathering at 3 in the afternoon. Then we're going to have a worship service in which we celebrate the rich ministry of this community, its history. We mourn its passing and anticipate the new church and the new ministries that will emerge. And then after that, we're all going to sit down for dinner. And if you want to bring dessert, that would be great. If you don't, that's fine too. But it would be helpful if you could give us a call or drop us an email or a note and let us know that you're coming, so we'll know how many people to plan for. It's our hope that we are just overloaded with people, so please feel free to come even if you decide at the last moment. Meanwhile, you might check back at this webpage periodically because we will be putting new pictures, videos, movies, slideshows about the history and the current community here. Some oral history. You're going to hear Elizabeth Dickey talk about her years here at the church. And until February the 25th, I hope you know God's great richness as we gather